Hello, Internet. Shinku no Kitsuna here, at it again with another deck profile for you. I don't know why I keep making these videos. They don't really help anyone, but hey, you know what? This is the last deck I have for right now, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into the meat. As you can probably guess, just from the boss monster alone, we're talking Gravekeepers. It's an old game, winning format, and it does work, unless you're going up against Marlon the Mad Dog. He knows who he is. He knows what he did. Anyway, start off, let's actually talk about our extra deck boss monster guy, the Supernaturalist. What is there to say about this guy? Besides he's like freaking awesome. Oh, and those two cards can go over there for now. His skills include that while Necro Valley is on the field, their opponent can't destroy him, can't destroy Necro Valley with card effects. Seems pretty legit. He also gains 100 attack power for each level of the combined tributes for him. So that can make him a pretty nice beat stick with your beat stick of a fusion material, which is actually really cool. We'll get into that in a second too. And finally, activatable on main phase, you can grab a Necro Valley card, a Necro Valley Spell Trap, or Gravekeeper monster at the end phase, which is really great for setting up for next turn. Unless your opponent's a massive dick and playing Trickstar. Don't play Trickstar. Anyway, moving on, two monsters I've considered trying to find room for. Is the Gravekeeper's Heretic, mainly because, this card is unaffected by all other effects as long as Necro Valley is also on the field. Basically, you summon him with Necro Valley on the field, look at your opponent, and you go, lol. What now, son? What are you gonna do? Oh, you're gonna try and pop it? No. Oh, you're gonna try to beat over it? Well, I'm pretty sure he's like a pretty beefy 4-star. Oh, you're gonna try and shuffle him back? Oh, you're gonna try and mirror force him? Oh, you're gonna try and do pretty much whatever. No. Stop it. Stop trying to take away my card. No. Anyway, he's kind of a side deck monster, though he's got a nice body to him. Got a 1800 base. And that's like 1921, 23 with the Necro Valley. Moving on to the actual deck monsters, we are running. Triple Spiritualist. This is the one I was just talking about when I said polymerization on a stick. Literally, if you have Necro Valley on field, you can use this and any Gravekeeper in your hand, and you get this. That's right, she brings them out. She prays for your god card. Okay, not really. She doesn't care about your god cards. Moving on, before I lose track of what I was talking about. Where's my third commandant? I had 3. Oh well, if you see the third one, he's in there. We do run Gravekeepers. There he is. He was hiding under Spiritualist. We do run Triple Commandant because he is our terraforming of the deck. We just pitch him, we get Necro Valley, it's all good. Unless we get Ash. But he also has the only downside of being the only Earth-type monster in the deck. But that's whatever, we don't care. We're literally using him as terraforming that we just discard. Up next is our Searcher, Gravekeeper's Recruiter. We just want him out to tribute to get more cards into our hand. We don't really care about this guy. He doesn't really do us much good alive. He's better off dead. I know, that sounds terrible. 1 Gravekeeper's Descendant. You can tribute 1 face-up Gravekeeper monster you control except this guy here. Just grab 1 card your opponent controls. So you summon him, you look at your field, you start popping stuff. You know, you just summon him, play your double summon that specifically targets this deck, you get out your headsman, you summon something back, you destroy 2 other things, and you go ham. It's really fun. Moving on. 1 Gravekeeper's Chief, you can only have 1 out at a time. It makes it so your graveyard is no longer affected by Necro Valley, which can be kind of nice. He also brings back one monster after you tribute for him, so that's also pretty cool. It only brings back anything, so if we lost a Supernaturalist in combat, we can get out Chief and go into Supernatural and bring back our Supernaturalist. Up next is pretty much a nice little Monster Reborn on a stick, specifically for 4-star monsters. But the Gravekeepers Headsman, he brings back a special summon an attacker faced on defense, a level 4 Gravekeeper. Usually you would do this with Spy, but Spy's too slow for the deck. You can only use it once per turn. It can't be stopped by Necro Valley. Past him, we have Triple Oracle. Now this fine gentleman has a nice myriad of effects, because you can use up to 3 Gravekeeper monsters to tribute summon for him. He gains, let's see, what is it? I've got the lighting on this card. There we are. He gains attack equal to the level times, I think it's also times 100, just like Supernaturalist. Destroy all set monsters your opponent controls. We don't really care about that. We don't play set meta anymore. And all monsters your opponent controls lose 2,000 attack and defense. So that's a pretty nice debuff. And 2, 4, 6, 8, a 10-star monster on top of that. So if we just send him from hand to grave for Supernaturalist, that's another, that's 1,000 attack added onto him. That's 1,000 attack onto your boss monster. That's pretty good. Then we have one Visionary. You can tribute it. You can tribute someone by tributing one Gravekeeper monster. It gains 200 attack. For each Gravekeeper monster in your graveyard, if this face-up card would be destroyed, you can discard a Gravekeeper monster instead. So he's kind of like our backup boss guy. So say for whatever reason you find yourself not being able to get him, Visionary is a good beat stick. Especially when you combine the one Visionary's power with the Gravekeeper's Oracle. It only requires one tribute, and he's a 2, 4, 8-star monster with a 1 Gravekeeper tribute cost as an effect. That's kind of nice, Moving on to our traps, apparently, because I forgot to re-edit this video and I'm not doing it again. Triple goes in match because sometimes you run into a deck that's not one attribute, and this is what I was talking about, like how we don't care about a 1 Earth-type monster. We have goes in match. We're going to stop a lot of things from going off. They're all dark, they're all spellcaster, it's all good. Moving on, we have 2 Imperial Tomb of Necro Valley. This card says no to spell, trap, or monster effects as long as you have a Necro Valley. Was it Necro Valley and a Gravekeeper monster on field? So that's a nice little out. I do want to pick up a 3rd copy because I think it would be really good. We then run 2 Necro Valley Temple. This card gives a debuff of 500 attack and defense to your opponent's monster. Combine that with the buff. Your monsters have a pretty nice difference of like 1,000 there. And if you don't have a Necro Valley, you can pull a Necro Valley from hand to grave straight onto the field at time of activation. And if this card gets dropped, you can grab any Necro Valley spell or trap. As long as it's dropped if it's destroyed by your opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard. So pretty much, they're probably just going to let the debuff stay because it's not worth it to destroy it. Moving on, we have our spell lineup. We are playing 3 copies of Backup Rider, which gives your monsters plus 1,000, which is kind of nice. We are running with the second one go. So I got that needs to stop happening. They're going to have to do so many edits. I'm sorry, guys. There it is. Alright, so like I said, 1500 with triple backup raider. We are playing, for now, these are going to get cut soon, but for now we're playing to Wonder Wand. Wonder Wand's pretty self-explanatory. Give the spellcaster plus 500 attack, and if you control the equipped monster and this card, which is really easy to do, you can send both to the graveyard, draw your cards. So the strategy I like to do is like pop this on my recruiter and then swing into my opponent with a nice juicy beat stick, or just a Wonder Wand effect to pop it in recruiter, draw 2, and then use recruiter to search if I didn't draw what I wanted. Next we have the Magician's Left Hand, which is a nice spicy trap denial card. The first trap activation or trap effect, while you have a spellcaster, and this is by your opponent each turn. So this works on your turn, this works on their turn. They do a trap you don't like, you say no, and then you destroy it. It's really nifty. And then we're running one Magician's Right Hand, which does the same thing for spells. Same caveat of having a spellcaster, which is pretty easy to do with this deck. We have one Royal Tribute, which is at 1. As long as you have a Necro Valley, then you can play this, and both players discard all monsters in their hand. This is a really nifty out to hand traps right now. We'll probably never get this past 1. In fact, if Gravekeepers keep going good as an anti-meta deck, this might even get hit for the ban list. Konami, do not steal my idea. We have 1 Gravekeeper Steel. I wouldn't mind playing this at 2. Could have Wonder Wand for that. Same with Hidden Temple of the Necro Valley. Oh yeah, Steel grabs you 2 Gravekeeper monsters from the graveyard into your hand. It cannot be negated by Necro Valley, which is nice. And Hidden Temples basically is just any specials that aren't Gravekeeper monsters can't be done, which can hurt most decks because a lot of them rely on special summoning. So you get out your boss monster, Necro Valley, and this, and you're kind of good to go for a while, especially with all the negates we run. Up next, we have Triple Throne, which is one of my favorite cards, not only because of the artwork, but because of what it does. You can only pick one of the effects once per turn, but you can either add a Gravekeeper monster from deck to hand, or get, immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon a Gravekeeper monster. So, like, either way, it's really good. You either get a second summon of a Gravekeeper, which is really nice, or you get a Gravekeeper just added to your hand. I wish it was both effects, but I would probably break the card. Not that there's not anything ever broken in Yu-Gi-Oh! Salamangrates. Anyway, enough salt. Lastly, we're running triple of the field spell Necro Valley. All Gravekeepers gain 500 attack and defense. Cards cannot be moved from the graveyard to any other area. Includes deck, field, banish, and with the newest errata, attributes and types in the graveyard. I believe it's in the graveyard and on field. I could be wrong about that, but I know for sure in the graveyard cannot be changed. So if it's a spellcaster, that's a dark type, and goes to the grave, it's a spellcaster, that's a dark type, and it's in the grave. That's the end of it. Anyway, guys, hopefully I'll be able to actually play this at locals and do better than last time when I was only running like 1 Necro Valley and none of the boss monsters. Oh god, that was horrible. It was way too slow. It didn't work. Fun fact for you, it doesn't work if you don't have all the cards. So yeah, so hopefully next time this actually does better. And I will see you guys then. Anyway, I've been Shinku no Kitsune. If this has been my Gravekeeper profile, let me know what you think. Peace!